Hello everyone, welcome to our live stream with Augustin Viot. Today we will talk about AEGEE and youth engagement and empowerment in Europe with Augustin Viot. So we are waiting for our guest. In a while he will come, I guess. Thank you for your patience and attention. Hi, here is Augustin came. So hey.
Hello.
Hello, Augustin, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and accepting our invitation. It's a great honor to have this live stream with you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So if you don't mind, we can start with our topic.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
So, dear participant, today our topic is the youth engagement and empowerment in Europe, the role of AEGEE, the European Students Forum. So today we will discuss this topic with AEGEE's Vice President and Network Commission Director, Mr. Augustin Viot. So welcome again. And I would like to start with your introduction. Can you please introduce yourself for our participants, and then we will continue with ideas issues.
Sure. So my name is Augustin Viot. I'm the current Vice President and Network Director of AEGEE. I originally come from France. I joined AEGEE in 2018-19 in Paris. I joined AEGEE Paris. I have a background in computer science and engineering, and and I was interested for a few years really in youth organizations, and here I am today doing a full-time volunteering position in AEGEE.
Thank you very much for your introduction and welcome again. So can you please provide us with information? What is AEGEE-European Students Forum? What AEGEE stands for? What kind of objectives and institution is that?
Of course. So AEGEE is one of the biggest interdisciplinary youth and students organization in Europe. We strive for a democratic, diverse, borderless, and integrated Europe, integrated socially, economically, and politically. And we want young people to be active in its construction. And our mission in this is to empower the young people to be active to the construction of Europe. So we create space for dialogues and for meetings between young people. And we also act as the representative of young people towards decision makers. So to make it simple, we take young people from all over Europe, we get them to meet each other, discuss what they care about, we give them skills, and then we ask them, what do you want to care about? And we advocate for that, and we train them to advocate for the future they want.
Thank you very much for providing such information. Actually, you did it at the beginning, but can you please describe more widely about your journey in AEGEE, how you became a member, then vice president, network director, etc. What was your path in AEGEE?
Of course. Okay, so back in 2016, that's where it originally started. I came back from a stay in the United States where I did a semester in Berkeley for 2016. And back then, when I came back to France, it was election year in France. We would elect the new president. and I wanted to get active politically, but I didn't want to join a political party. So I tried to think about what are my values, and at the end I realized that I aligned quite well with what the European Union stands for back then, the basic values. So I decided, I typed on Google actually, a European association, and there I found Jeff, which I see just joined actually this Insta Live. And I joined them because I was very interested, and there I met other Europeans that strive for the same future as mine. So I got engaged. I did some position at the local level. I became a board member in the section in Paris of CHEF, the Young European Federalist. And one day, as I was presenting CHEF at the stand, next to me was AEGEE. And I remember back then the girl sold me AEGEE as it's a nice place. You get to travel. We go do conferences. We do gathering all across Europe. And you can be a member quite easily. So like, oh, that looks pretty nice. Like, where's the trick? I can do trainings and conferences across Europe. That looks very nice. It's like, no, there's no trick. This is what we do. This is what we stand for. So I became a member, and then I liked AEGEE a lot, and I became more and more active. So I joined the local board. I became vice president and president of AEGEE Paris. And after that, some people recommended me for what we call the European level. So when you join international teams, so I became what we called sub-commissioner, so sort of a regional coordinator. Then I was elected in a similar position of sort of regional coordinator. And after that, I did 1 year as a more thematic responsible in the climate emergency working group. Was managing a team of about 5 people, international team with people from several countries in Europe. And at some point, I did a training here in Brussels, in this very house. That was a training for people that wish to take more active position in the network in the organization. And I was there with a friend, and we really, really liked the training, and we got really enthusiastic. So we made a pinky promise that we would do a full board year, because here the board takes a lot of time. And so 1 year later, I was already applying for it. I was actually, I got in the board a bit before my promise. Like I finished my studies, and 1 week later, I was already in Brussels as an interim member. Then I was elected president, and then network director. And so I went from an interim member of the committee director, so the European board, to president and to vice president. And today I have a 1 year mandate as a vice president that I started on the 1st of August, and I'm going to finish on the 31st of July.
Wow. This journey is such an inspiring story. Thank you very much for sharing with us. You told about the working with international members, etc. So what are the opportunities and difficulties working in international groups?
So when you work in like, you mean only specifically youth international groups, or any international groups? Because like what I know, okay.
Yeah. Let's say specifically with the youth international groups.
Okay, so obviously you get to learn a lot. Like people who have done an Erasmus like know what I'm talking about. You learn about what it's like to be open-minded. You discover other cultures. You also realize that what you consider as being something normal is actually just something that is normal in your culture, and you learn to adapt to this new reality. And that gives you a lot of skills that can later be used, because working in international teams is not something that you are born with. You have to learn it, especially if you come from a monocultural background. And obviously, when you're engaged in international youth volunteering, you learn the skills, sometimes in a hard way, because you can be a bit frustrated to not understand why these other people do not work the same way as you. But usually, for most of the people, it's a very positive experience, because you love it. You just spend your time learning about these new ways to work, to think. And that's something that triggers your curiosity a lot, and it pushes you to want more and more and more. And yeah, this is how it was with youth volunteering. It's a very good place to learn how to work and how to adapt, I would say, mostly.
Maybe some of our participants are encouraged how to they can become a member of AEGEE. Can you please provide short information about that? How individuals can become a member of AEGEE, and what is the opportunities of becoming an AEGEE member?
Sure. So any young person can become an AEGEE member. You mostly have to fit the values that we stand for, that I mentioned at the beginning. So if you want to learn new stuff, discover the cultures, it's not a problem. Most of our members are between 18 and 30 years old. Most of them are students. I would say about 70% of them. And if you, somewhere in Europe, want to join a local, what we call a local section, basically you go on the AEGEE website and you find which local is the closest to you. And if you have no locals in your city or in your university, you can also create a new one. And for this, you actually reach out to the address that you mentioned here, that is mine at the moment for this year, network at aegee.eu. And you can also create your own local, and we will have people supporting you for that.
So how many locals generally in Europe?
So the local organization, local branches that we call locals in AEGEE, at the moment we have approximately 110. This number changes every 6 months during our General Assembly, but it's around this year, 110.
Wow, that's a great number. So what kind of events are AEGEE organizing? And how can a participant join these events?
So basically, I would say overall, you have two kinds of events. The events that are organized by your locals, so by the group of people that live in the same city as you. And this can very depend on which local you're part from, because basically they organize what their members want usually, or most interested in. So this could go from social gatherings to workshop thematics, I don't know, like sessions on how to write a CV, how to do interviews. And then, so that's the first part, that's organized by your local, the people in your university or your group at the local level. And then you have what we call the European events, which are international events. And for this, it's a gathering of several people from all across Europe, AEGEE members, and there is usually a thematics. So it can be something cultural, something more about trainings and learning new skills. We also have statutory events, of course, like our General Assemblies, which gather a lot of people. And that's pretty much it. So you meet somewhere in Europe, as we say in AEGEE, with a lot of other young people. At first, you don't know them, and then they become your friends. And then, well, 3 months later or half a year later, you meet them again because you end up in similar events, and there you build a sort of international or European community of friends.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much for the information. And there is an Agora in AEGEE. So can you please describe for our participants what's Agora, it stands for? And I know that the upcoming Agora will be at the end of April. So can you provide us information about that?
Sure. So what we call Agora in AEGEE, it's the General Assembly. We call it Agora because debating is one of the means of AEGEE, so it's one of the things we really try to provide to young people. So we want our General Assembly to look like a place where people can debate. Of course, we talk about the future of the organization. We make, I don't know, changes of our internal regulations. We have elections. We have people presenting reports of what they've been working on. But overall, it's a place where you get like people from all over Europe, all over the network, talking about how they see the future of the continent and trying to have an impact on this future.
Thank you very much. And if I'm not mistaken, you are joining now from an event for AEGEE event, right?
I'm
sorry? You are joining from AEGEE event now that you walked?
If I am at an event now?
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm in our meeting room here in Brussels. Like we have offices in Brussels. And I'm not participating in an event today. There is an event organized with another umbrella organization, very proud of. But yes, the next big event that I'm attending is the General Assembly that will happen in Serbia, Novi Sad.
So, thank you very much. And I would like to come to the Network Commission. What Network Commission is, and whom we call the Network Commissioners.
Of course. So in AEGEE, we have several internal bodies, like teams, basically, that helps the organization run. Some of them are called commissions. This is where people get elected to the mandate. Usually it's 1 year. And specifically the Network Commission, their job is to connect the different local branches that we call locals to what we call the European events, so the several international teams of members, and also connect the different locals between them, so the different Europeans get to talk to each other. And finally, they are here also to help the locals directly. So if we have a local branch that needs support, I don't know, for drafting a recruitment strategy, or fulfilling some administrative requirement that we have, or they don't know how to find a trainer to give a workshop, then the network commissioner, they all have one network commissioner appointed, is the person that will guide them in finding these resources inside or outside of AEGEE. So they are sort of advisor that help the local branches to grow and to be in touch with the rest of AEGEE.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask for our participants, what kind of commissions and departments in AEGEE, and how our participants can not only become a member of AEGEE, but also become a member of these departments or commissions.
Sure. So basically, when you join AEGEE, you have to be a member to be in one of these teams that we call commissions. You immediately have the opportunity, if you want to, if you mention your interest, to join a European team. And we have different kinds. We have projects which work on specific time-limited issues. For example, we have 2 projects at the moment. One is called Europe on Track. You can Google that. Or one is called White Votes to enhance the political participation of young people in the European elections. We have committees and commissions which takes more care of the organizational management of the organization. So they support the European board, the committee director of AEGEE. And finally, we have also working groups that work on thematics that we call focus areas that are chosen for 3 years. And finally, we have interest group which gather members that have a specific interest that they wish to work on, to work on and talk about with a European perspective. So any of these groups, if you want to work with other Europeans, as soon as you're a member, you can ask to join. Ask the group if you can join. Also, we have regular open calls, so moments where you can candidate to join them. Usually they are about 4 per year. The next one will be just after the upcoming Agora, so the upcoming General Assembly, which means end of April, basically. So end of April, we'll have a lot of potential international teams that you can join.
Thank you very much for your answer. And I would like to continue with another question. Are there any refund opportunities in AEGEE, and how the participant or members are able to use it?
Did you say funded opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have some projects that are funded. Okay, just to mention, I have my Instagram notification that tells me Instagram will shut down automatically in 5 minutes because I have time limits daily. Just to let you know, if I disappear, that's the reason. So yeah, basically, some projects are funded. So our participants would receive money, for example, to travel to a specific events and participate to a specific events. We also have some of the European teams that receive some budget. So that's not for some of them, it's to cover the cost when they travel for the organization. So to help them fulfill the mission they're supposed to fulfill. And finally, at the local level, sometimes the local branches also have a budget allocated to some activities, but that's a case-by-case thing that, like, I don't know on the top of my head from the 110, which one have funded projects or not at the local level.
Thank you very much. So then I would like to continue with the last question if our participants do not have any questions. Any advice for individuals who wants to join or has already joined the AEGEE?
Talk to people and try things, because AEGEE is a wonderful place. It's a box sand or a box of sand. I don't know how to say in English.
Yeah.
Where you can try things, you can learn, and you will learn fast. You will learn good, but you don't necessarily realize this on the spot. After talking with a lot of alumni members that were in AEGEE like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they all come to the same point, like you learn a lot in AEGEE. And you don't realize it yet because you're still, I mean, I'm also still young. We're still young, we don't see it yet. But when you have the 10, 20 years perspective on it, we learn a lot about how to handle projects, how to talk to people, how to adapt to situations, etc. That's a huge variety of soft skills that comes with being an active member, going to projects, into events. And there is also the network that comes with it. Like when you've been, I don't know, when you've been working on a project for like hours with a group of people, they become more than colleagues or people you just volunteer with, they're friends. And later on this network of people, you know, you will rely on them because you like them and they like you. So that's your friend. And that's also something very useful that pays off in the future. And so yeah, you should join for that. You should not be afraid to ask people, how can I do this? How can I do that? When you are motivated to do things, there is always a way that you will find something that fulfills you in AEGEE. And finally, well, because it's fun. That's the main reason why a lot of people join. Like you can come to learn skills, you can come because you believe in the values, but it's also a lot of fun. You get to travel, you get to meet people from all over Europe. That's a lot of beautiful memories that you create.
Well, thank you very much for such an information. I hope that many participants after this stream will join AEGEE also. So thanks again for accepting our invitation, for your time, for kind consideration, and I hope to meet you here again. Actually, that was the shortest live stream in for our club, but I can say that most productive. It's productive. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, Aisha, and I'm sorry for the time delay because here it's summertime now in Europe, so in Brussels, so it's a bit different. Yeah, but thank you very much for the question. It was very pleasant.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure. Now, so see you, and
bye-bye.
Thank you again.
See you very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So dear participants, that's the end of our live stream. So if you have any question about AEGEE or AEGEE Europe, other locals, you can ask us or Augustin. Go to the page of Augustin. And that's the end. That was the fourth stream of the youth experience sharing. So see you next week for our youth experience sharing. See you.